Well, you have to ask yourself, where on earth did we go wrong when it came to nutrition? I've been looking for 35 years in the scientific journals, and back when experiments were being done 35, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, and looking for the one study that redirected us from animal fats, lard, butter, cream, eggs, that sort of stuff that we were using for cooking, and what got us on to this kick with oils and unsaturated fats. Where did we go wrong here? I never could find it. Well, a couple of months ago, of course, there was a full 2-page article in the Wall Street Journal showing where we went wrong. Actually, back in 1901, there was a German guy by the name of Wilhelm Norman who invented a machine lubricant for factories, because all the machines are running 24/7 and they burn up, and they needed a machine oil that would lubricate the machines and make them last longer. And he began to use cottonseed oil and hydrogenated them, hardened them into a sort of a cream to be used on machinery, and they'd last a long time. And then, to make a long story short, by 1911, the patent was bought by Procter and Gamble. You know, the soap company. They were going to make soap out of it, but all the women were making soap, and so they couldn't sell it to the ladies. So they said, we got to do something. What else do people use fats for? Oh, they cook with it. And so they offered it up as a replacement for lard, and they called it Crisco. This is hydrogenated cottonseed oil. The wonderful polyunsaturated fats are going to save your life, as opposed to the saturated fats of lard, cream, and butter, and so forth. And they kind of went crazy. And then they added, of course, the cholesterol to make it more fearful. And Procter and Gamble paid the American Heart Association in 1915, they paid them $1.7 million to endorse Crisco as a healthier fat, as opposed to lard, cream, and butter. And that's where it was. It wasn't a scientific study. It was an ad campaign paid for by Procter and Gamble, plus the endorsement by the American Heart Association. It was an ad campaign, not a scientific study. And through heavy advertising, they quickly convinced everybody that Crisco and unsaturated fats were much healthier for you than the animal fats. Well, this became very scary, of course, because until this happened, there was extremely rare cases of coronary artery disease. After the introduction of Crisco, of course, coronary artery disease went off the roof. And, of course, that included Dwight D. Eisenhower, our president right after the Second World War, General Eisenhower. And he had 2 heart attacks while in office. And that's because the cooks in the White House were using, oh, yeah, you got it, Crisco. All right? Well, as late as 2012, Dr. Oz, a highly viewed TV medical doctor, front page article, he wrote it, front page article in Time magazine, and he says, you can get everything you need as far as vitamins and minerals go just by eating frozen fruits and vegetables. Oh my gosh, that set people off in the wrong direction. And of course, Time magazine redeemed themselves June 23rd, 2014, cover article, and they have a big scoop of butter on the front and says, eat butter. Why did doctors endorse the polyunsaturated fats instead of the saturated fats? Well, that's because they're being paid $1.7 million, right? And so this whole thing on the fats, they sent us in the wrong direction, and that's why we rank 92nd in healthfulness, 60th in longevity, and God forgive us, 41st when it comes to live births and first month survivability of our babies. Okay, it's just still, doctors are still locked in the 7-food group pyramid, the 5-group plate, the frozen vegetables. You get everything you need. And of course, another thing that went away during this time is genetics. Doctors want you to believe that everything. They convinced Angelina Jolie to cut her breast off because she had a gene that was going to give her breast cancer down the line. Well, if you cook your meat medium rare instead of well done, you'll reduce your risk of breast cancer by 462%. I don't even know what that means. I'm not that much of a mathematician. What does reduction by 462% mean? I know what 100% means. What's 462%? Basically, what they're saying is that when you burn animal fats, you get heterocyclic amines and acrylamides and trans fatty acids, which increase your risk of breast cancer, ladies, by 462%. By 462%. If you cook your meat medium rare, and don't burn the fat, guess what? reduce your risk of breast cancer by 462%. This is a big university study from the University of South Carolina. It was published in 1998. This is not woo-woo stuff. This is heavy-duty university studies. And we published it in scientific journals, doing front-page news story all over America, and doctors still don't pay attention to it because they're getting too much money by writing prescriptions for statin drugs. They're getting too much money for writing prescriptions for statin drugs. And they want to give them to your 9-year-old kids, your 8-year-old kids. They want to start giving these kids statin drugs. Do not do it. Say no, 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 no. Do not do it, because your kids will not live to be 20. You will be burying your children if you put your kids on statin drugs. Normal cholesterol is 220 to 270. Eskimos, their cholesterol run 350 to 500, and they're the culture that has the fewest cardiovascular events of anybody. I urge you to contact your young Givy associate, get my new book, Epigenetics, and learn how to add 50 healthy years to your life by what you eat, what to supplement with. Better yet, you're going to add 50 healthy years to your kids' and grandkids' life. Get the book Epigenetics, and it'll blow your mind what you can do for yourself. Epigenetics, the death of the genetic theory of disease transmission. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
Well, you have been vindicated again. This is something I've heard you talk about for, I guess, about as long as I've known you. And the headline of this story that I got from San Francisco Chronicle is, for healthier barbecues, go low, slow, and marinate. Say, if your holiday this weekend plans is part of a barbecue, according to the National Institute of Health, they suggest turning down the heat and mixing up some marinade. Say, grilling meat, poultry, or fish at temperatures above 300 degrees causes compounds called heterocyclic amines. I've heard you talk about those for many years. They go on to say broiling or pan-frying these foods could also create compounds. And, of course, you've been telling people not to fry their food for years. They say which U.S. Department of Health and Human Services say lists heterocyclic amines as probable carcinogens. They say high doses of heterocyclic amines have caused cancer in laboratory animals. And some studies have also linked them to human colon, pancreatic, and prostate cancer. Say, in the meantime, to minimize exposure by cooking meat over low heat and flipping it to avoid charring, which is something you've also recommended to avoid. And in typical, they get part of it right and get part of it wrong. They say marinades of oils, vinegar and mustard, citrus, or even beer can keep the meat moist and decrease the chances of burning. According to an 2008 study from the University of Kansas State University, showed that herbs rich in antioxidants like rosemary, mint, basil, thyme, and others prevent many of the offending compounds from forming. Another option is to pre-cook your meat and finish it off on the grill. But something you've been talking about for a long time, Doc, so you have been vindicated once again.
Well, you have to appreciate, Doug, after being a pathologist for so many years and doing more than 8,000 human autopsies over all the years, 20,000 autopsies, 3,000 of which were humans in one project. Another project, Dr. Milano and I did in China, 1,700 autopsies in kids under the age of 10. That's 5,000 autopsies right there in humans. And then over the years, it's accumulated 250 here, 50 there. And so it adds up to 8,000 human autopsies, 50 million chemistries, and so forth. I've had my hand on the pulse of this. I actually wrote a paper on it in 1971. And everybody just threw up their hands and said, Wallach, you're missing the thing. It's this cholesterol stuff here. It's blocking the arteries and causing a stroke and so forth. No, it's the burnt animal fats. It's the inflammation caused by eating fried foods, oil, salad dressings, canned fish packed in oils. I said it's a cumulative damage. A little peck here, a little peck there. It's accumulated, and it's cutting 25 to 50 healthy years off to people's lives. And I was saying that, as you say, 25 years ago, actually 35, 36 years ago I was saying that. And I'm just glad to see that finally they're getting a little bit of it right. But here's Dr. Oz on the cover of Time magazine, December 2012, saying you can get all the vitamins you need by eating frozen fruits and vegetables. I mean, it's actually very, very scary.
Yeah, Doc, I found it interesting that, something you've been talking about for years, and, people didn't want to believe a lot of these things, but then once it comes out in the mainstream media, like the butter thing being on Time magazine, then they want to start believing it, and it's sort of one of those situations where, they don't believe it if it comes from an old Missouri doctor, but if it's on Time magazine, maybe they'll buy into it.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should go to Time Magazine is what we got now, because we can actually prevent Alzheimer's disease. We can actually reverse it. And there's a big story in the San Diego newspaper today saying that the rate of Alzheimer's disease has gone up 68% the last 10 years. It is the biggest cost now in the medical area, Alzheimer's disease, and it's genetic. No, it's a deficiency disease. My goodness gracious. Well, thank you so much, Doug. You're right on target as usual. Stick with us, folks. We'll be back with more truth, justice, and the longevity way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Delaware, and Vay, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Yes, hello, Dr. Wallach. How are you doing today?
Very fine, thank you. How can I help you?
Yes, hello. To begin, my family and I have been taking Beyond Tangy Tangerine as our daily multivitamin for the last few years. Everybody take it nonstop because of the wonderful benefits that you can feel from this one compared to any other multivitamin we've ever taken.
Well, thank you.
So, yes, thank you very much. Last year, I became pregnant with my first child, and it was around the time that Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 came out, so I switched to taking the 2.0. And, well, I give it thanks for the reason why I have such a beautiful, healthy daughter. A super baby, we call her, because she's extremely strong and vibrant, and she's already trying to walk at 9.5 months.
Wow.
Yes. So what I want to call about is for her health now and into the future. She was exclusively breastfed through 6 months, and she continues to be breastfed along with eating solid foods. And my questions regard, first, what your basic protocol is for breastfeeding mothers for the health of their children. And my second question is, we live in an area that has a lot of environmental pollutions, and I would like to be able to supplement my diet to support the endocrine system for myself and to pass along to my daughter, and what I can do from this stage for her moving forward. I'd also like to mention that in my third trimester, I noticed that I had some symptoms of arthritis in my wrists. I'm 30 years old, by the way. And also in my third trimester, I had a dip in my iron levels, which I know is pretty common for most pregnant mothers. But I was able to get this back up through iron-rich foods. But I still have a concern with my general iron levels and what might be causing what I still feel as symptoms of arthritis in my wrists and leg joints.
Okay, well, two things. Number one, you say you've been taking the Beyond Tangerine, the original, and then the 2.0. Did you also take the omega-3 essential fatty acids, or EFAs or EFA pluses?
I do take an EFA, but I want to, if I am to take additional supplementation by you, then I'd be interested in also including the EFA from Longevity. Okay,
well, hang on. We got to run one of those message moments. I'll come back, ask you one or two more questions, and I'll give you a program for yourself and also for other nursing women and also for your baby. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go back to Delaware and Bay. All right, I do have to ask you one other question, two actually. Question number one is, were you taking also the Osteo FX Plus along with, the Beyond Tangerine? Were you taking the extra calcium?
I was not taking extra calcium, but I was minding to take extra calcium through food. But no, I was not taking an extra calcium supplement.
Okay. And the last question is, do you have any history of skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or asthma?
No, not me personally, no.
You have brothers or sisters?
My father developed asthma when he moved to this country, yes.
Mm-hmm. But no brothers and sisters are the problem?
Correct.
Okay. Do you have any other children? Did you say this is your first child?
First child, yes.
Okay. All right. And what do you weigh?
I weigh about 145. And before I was pregnant, I was underweight at about 115.
Okay. So here we go. Shar, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, what would you do to kind of make this sort of supplement program that Bay has to really bring it up to speed and make it more correct? What would you do?
Well, she can take the whole the Healthy Start Pack 2.0, the whole pack, which got the calcium and stuff in it. Also, if she's worried about pollution, selenium would be a great antioxidant, and the triple treat chocolate for, antioxidants.
Mm-hmm. No, you're exactly right. And I agree with you. I would like to see every woman who's planning on getting pregnant, certainly breastfeeding, they need to take the entire program, which would be the Healthy Start Pack. But now she's got some arthritis here. She's got some joint pain. What would you do to make it more correct for somebody with arthritis or joint pain?
Well, they could take the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, or they could just add the glucogel to the...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, and 145 pounds, and I would go ahead with one Healthy Bone and Joint Pack per month. I'd get an extra bottle of the OsteoFX Plus and an extra bottle of glucogel to kind of finish out Char's formula for you here. That would be 1 ounce of the OsteoFX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 per day. It'd be 1 scoop with breakfast and 1 scoop with dinner. 3 of the EFA Pluses at each day. That'd be 1 at breakfast, 1 at lunch, 1 at dinner, 1 at breakfast and 2 at dinner. And then 15 glucogel a day, 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner. And all that would be accomplished by the extra bottle of OsteoFX Plus, the extra bottle of glucogel, and the 1 Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Now, for the extra iron, I would also throw in the Ultimate Enzymes. Ultimate Enzymes. That's actually going to acidify your stomach a little bit and actually help the efficiency of absorption of iron. You need more acid in your stomach to do that. And so I'd take one of those, say 2 minutes before each meal with a couple ounces of water. And then to detox, I would stay away. So as long as you're breastfeeding the baby, I would be careful about doing detoxes and things like that, because you release a lot of stuff out of your body, your liver and your body fat, and it would have it would have maybe a negative impact on the baby. So I wouldn't be doing any detoxing until you stop breastfeeding. And give us a call every couple of weeks. Let us know how you and your great kid are doing. We love you. Thank you so much. And we'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Young and Jibbly Way after these messages.
Let's head to Florida. And Mark, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Mark. You're on the air.
Hey, I had a quick question for you about serotonin. Just had a blood test done showing that my serotonin was a little high. And in the past, I've had problems taking like B vitamins, things with tryptophan, things like that, and it seems to be kind of making me fatigued and waking up at night not feeling very well. Is it possible to have too high serotonin levels?
I'm not familiar with any research that said that. I have not read that anywhere. Of course, I will look that up now and chase that down and see if there is anything to that. There's a wide range of what is the normal serotonin levels. Do you have any other issues? Do you have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or any history of constipation, diarrhea, or asthma?
I don't.
Okay, good. Do you have any brothers and sisters that do?
I do not, and I'm adopted. So.
I'm sorry, I missed that?
I said I'm adopted, so...
so you don't know a lot of background. Okay, I get it. All right. When you have problems with serotonin, it ranges anything from fatigue to depression and all kinds of stuff, anxiety. Basically, what I would do is kind of start from square one. What do you weigh, Mark?
160.
160. Okay. What kind of work do you do, sir?
I'm a programmer.
Okay. Now, do you take any medication at all?
I don't.
Okay. Good. Okay. 160 pounds. Char, what would you do for a guy who has obviously sleep problems, serotonin problems, and he's just not feeling right when he takes B vitamins? What would you do for this guy?
Oh boy, I would get him on a healthy blood sugar pack, but and then I'd also give him the rebound for the energy, and I'd keep him awake while he's awake, and then he can sleep better at night.
Okay, very, very good. Yeah, exactly right. What I would do is have you use our Rebound, which is our sports drink that has 100 nutrients in it, and you can go ahead and take that. I would stop drinking it by 6 o'clock at night. I wouldn't drink it after that, so otherwise you might not sleep. It has 100 nutrients in it. It's the most complete sports drink out there. Most sports drinks range from 2 nutrients to 6 nutrients. Ours has 100, so we're very, very excited about this product. It's used by professional athletes, Olympic athletes, and they don't have any problems here. And then, in addition, I would use the complete program, as Shar said. I would go ahead with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. I would take 2 of them, 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs. That would be 3 of the selenium, as Shar pointed out, 3 selenium at breakfast, 3 at dinner, 1 ounce of the OsteoFX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner, and 3 of the EFAs at breakfast and dinner. And all of it accomplished by the 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. And then don't forget, you get the either sticks or little tubes of powdered Rebound, which you can tear the top off, add them to about a 16-ounce bottle of water. Or we do have the canned version. Don't drink the canned version with meals because it's carbonated. The powdered version is not carbonated. And then I'd throw one more thing in there for giving your body the raw materials. Actually, 2 more things to give your body the raw materials to modulate or make your serotonin at optimal levels. And this would be the HGH. I'd take 6 of those at bedtime with a glass of water. 1 bottle a month will do it. And this is to make your pituitary and your pineal gland happy. It gives you all the raw materials they need to work. And then the other thing is I would use the Smart FX. I'd go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. That gives you the raw materials for your brain to make neurotransmitters, including serotonin, including neurotransmitters for memory and cognition and problem solving and socialization and comfortable feelings and so forth. So I'd take a minimum of 3 of the Smart FX twice a day. Wouldn't hurt to take 9 a day, 3 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner if that's not a financial burden to you, but a minimum of 3 twice a day, 2 bottles a month. And call us every couple of weeks and let us know how things are going, because you should see remarkable results within 30 to 60 days. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Michigan. And Evelyn, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
So, Evelyn, you're on the air.
I'm calling about a young lady who's 21 years old and was diagnosed with HIV and chlamydia. She would like to know what she could take to maybe help herself.
Okay, well, obviously the HIV is a more concern, so let's go with that. The chlamydia, is this rectally? Is it vaginal? What are we talking about here?
I guess so. Her mother told me and asked me to call.
Sure.
So.
Okay, let's go to the HIV thing. What does this girl weigh?
I'm sorry?
What does she weigh?
Oh, she weighs 175.
Okay. All right, Shar?
Yes.
Okay, what would we do to maximum benefit this young girl's immune system?
She needs 2 of the Healthy Heart and Brain Packs because she needs the selenium.
Good.
So that HIV does not turn into AIDS. She needs lots of selenium.
Yeah, very good. Now, I want her mom and her to read the book Epigenetics. It goes into the history of HIV and the research that Dr. Gerhard Schrauzer did with selenium and HIV and all the great work. And Char's exactly right. If there is a magic bullet for HIV to prevent it from converting to AIDS, selenium is it. And of course, there's an enormous amount of research. Dr. Schrauzer should have gotten the Nobel Prize for that one, and I'm just sorry he didn't. I'm going to keep working hopefully that he does get the Nobel Prize for that. But HIV can be prevented from converting to AIDS, as Shar said, by more selenium. At 175 pounds, I would give her 2 of those Healthy Brain and Heart Packs. And again, as Shar said, that'd be 3 selenium at breakfast and dinner. If finances are not a problem, she could get another bottle of selenium, so she could take 3 times a day, the selenium. And then she's going to be able to get 1 ounce of the OsteoFX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner, and 3 of the EFAs at breakfast and dinner. And then I would throw a couple of other things in there. I would go ahead and throw in the Cell Shield RTQ to get her ORIC points or antioxidant points above 100,000 per day. And I would have her take 5 of those Cell Shield RTQs at breakfast and 5 at dinner time. I think that's going to take 5 bottles a month because they're very small bottles. They have 60 capsules in them. They're small capsules. But she needs to take 5 twice a day. An option is to take 6 of our triple treat chocolate a day. To be 2 at breakfast, 2 at lunch, 2 at dinner, or 3 at breakfast and 3 at dinner of our triple treat chocolate. And that's going to give her 100,000 ORAC points, or she can mix and match it. I just had my 3 triple treat chocolates this morning to keep my immune system up. Now, chlamydia, I would just kind of follow whatever her doctor says about that. Usually they have something she could take for that. There's not a good nutritional approach to a parasite, and so I would go ahead and let her take what the doctor wants her to take. But for the HIV, get a hold of the book Epigenetics, and you'll be amazed at what you can do with minerals for HIV. Well, stick with us. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and Longevity Way after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Online, the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Longevity and 95 Crusade. We do have lines open. Give us a call, toll-free, 1-888-379-2552. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Well, let's head to Northern California. And Gracie, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Gracie, you're on the air.
Yes, hi, Dr. Wallach. I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about how I was growing cartilage and, you know, trying to avoid knee replacement surgery.
Yep.
And it's, you know, the busy time of year, being out in the garden, and in spite of seeing that I'm growing cartilage, I still have a lot of stiffness and pain. And I was doing some research on prolotherapy, which is basically injecting the things that I'm taking orally, you know, with the glucogel and all that. I mean, what's your opinion of this?
Yeah, I'm not real happy with that approach. You can get everything you need orally, but you have to make sure you're absorbing everything you take in. You're not what you eat, you are what you absorb.
Right.
And so the fact that you're growing cartilage, you can actually see it on x-rays or ultrasounds. That means you're absorbing, but how much do you weigh, Gracie?
150.
Okay.
And I refuse to take pain pills, and I was thinking maybe the prolotherapy would help with the pain and stiffness, you know, like lubrication right in the knee itself.
Okay, I don't like things injected, and I'll repeat myself. I don't like things injected into joints. I deal a lot with professional athletes, Olympic athletes, special forces, Navy SEALs, people with really severe joint problems and injuries and so forth. And I'm here to tell you those things don't work out well. Okay, I will repeat that. They do not work out well. It's a great theory, but it's one of those theories that don't work out well. So what I prefer to see you do is temporarily at least use the topical CM cream, and that's going to, within 10 minutes of application, you're going to see a significant improvement in pain levels. You will actually see either significant or total pain relief for anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. It will begin to creep back, so you may need to apply the CM cream topically, say 3 times a day or 4 times a day each day. And you can also use the oral form of the CM, but instead of CM cream, you can use the CM Plus capsules. It'll give you the same materials, and it'll give you total body and anti-inflammatory effect. Total bodily analgesia. In other words, if you have pain in your tailbone, your ear bone, your elbow bone, your knee bone, connected to the hip bone and all that kind of stuff, it'll give you total body relief from inflammation and pain. There's a CM Plus capsules, there's soft gel capsules, and your body weight, 150 pounds, I would go ahead and take 3 of those 3 times a day. It'd be a lot more economical for you than injecting these things in your joints, and again, it doesn't turn out well. That's why you don't see everybody lining up to go get that kind of stuff. They try it once, and they don't like it. I get calls from them all the time. They say, yeah, it was great for about 5 minutes, and then it was a misery. And so I really would avoid that at all costs. And you can get the same benefits that they claim are there by using the CM Plus capsules orally and the CM Plus cream topically. And I would rather see you do that. Now, you might want to try one other thing to add to it to give a little variation on what you're taking. You might want to add what we call bone builder to it. And I would add bone builder to your program. Your body weight, I'd go ahead and take 3 of those capsules twice a day. Don't drop anything else, but go ahead and take the bone builder capsules, 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month, and throw in the CM Plus capsules and or the CM Plus cream. Okay, and then give me a call every couple of weeks. How much time do we have here, Doug?
About 5 seconds.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and take it then. Remind everybody about my new book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. This heralds the death of the genetic theory of disease transmission. The halls of science are filled with thousands of failed medical theories. Most recent one, of course, is genetics. No genetically transmitted diseases. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Shar. Super job. Thank you, Doug and Billy. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.